Father, or God, which his name is Yahawah, the Son's name is Yahawahshi, wherein God willeth more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise. Who's that? That's the nation of Israel, beginning with the elect. The heirs of promise here means someone who's set to inherit something. The first thing we're going to inherit, those of us that are part of the elect, is salvation by Yahawahshi into those chariots. Then we're going to inherit those new bodies that the Apostle Paul talked about. As a matter of fact, the Apostle Paul said in 1 Corinthians 15, we shall be changed in the twinkling of an eye. Like that, we're going to get these new indestructible bodies. In other words, we're never going to die. Death is going to be a thing of the past. So we're going to be like gods. Psalms 82 and 6. We're going to have godlike powers in the flesh. We're going to have godlike powers in the flesh. I just gave you a couple of examples of what we're set to inherit. That's why it says heirs of promise. So let's read it again. Wherein the Heavenly Father willeth more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise, and hopefully that's us, the immutability of his counsel. Immutability. Let's define that word. Immutability comes from the word immutable. It says unchanging over time or unable to be changed. So the Heavenly Father's word is unable to be changed. It cannot change.
2 Corinthians 5. But we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of God, an house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. For in this we groan, earnestly desiring to be clothed upon with our house which is from heaven. If so be that being clothed, we shall not be found naked. For we that are in this tabernacle do grow, being burdened, not for that we would be unclothed, but clothed upon, that mortality might be swallowed up of life. Now he that hath wrought us for the selfsame thing is God, who also hath given unto us the earnest of the Spirit.
Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praise to Barak, Yahawah, Yahawahshi. Barak, Yahawahshi. Gotta give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawahshi. Bahasham, Qadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles. A great millstone led me to this truth. Been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect, to the hopeful elect. Lord, will be part of that number. Lord, will be edifying to those who fear the name of the Lord and strive to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. It is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. And it's unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. With the water for tuning in. Shalom. You know, to all y'all, all the hopeful elect, you know, Akim and Aqua, you know, the men and women out there coming back to the ways of Yahawahshi and Rawchaa. You know, Yahawahshi and Rawchaa Barak Atham. So we're going to get into some topics today dealing with Civil War in America, Babylon the Great, war, some other World War III topics as well, you know, that are going to, you know, consist of, that are coming soon, you know, to the land. You know, there's going to be many civil wars around the U.S. and, you know, also other parts of the earth. Also, America, Babylon the Great, they're not going to be ready for it. You know, and we're going to show why they're not. You know, in spirit and power of Yahawahshi and Rawchaa, police brutality. Also, and then some other various end-time topics dealing with a lot of major storms that Yahawahshi and Rawchaa has put on the earth in the last, you know, maybe like a week or so. Been many different various storms that we're going to deal with. So let's get into this. Let me make sure my stuff over here is working. Let me get over here. Let me see. Where is that at? Oh. What's going on? That makes no sense. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I just got this laptop the other day, so I'm still learning how to use it. All right. Let's do it. Lord willing, this edifying to the flock. All right. This is GOP rep Matic on tape. We're going to have a civil war or some sort of revolution, right? But us as the hopeful elect, we know there's going to be a revelation. There's going to be a revealing that these Edomites, you know, they're not the chosen people of the Lord. You know, but 2/3 of our people are not going to see it coming. They're going to get caught lacking, man, because they thought this was a joke, man. Okay, but these Edomites are letting you know. They're trying to make it seem like it's a carnal situation, and it is, but it's a more spiritual situation because we know Yahawahshi and Rawchaa is coming to basically divide everything. That's a civil war, right? And they know this. That's why they had their little hearing on the UFOs. But when you listen to it, because I had a new brother that's coming into the truth, he was listening to it, and basically they just in there talking about nothing. They're like, yeah, what did you see? And they're like, well, I seen some stuff that I didn't kind of see, but I seen it. What about you? And they just, you know, they didn't want to really bring it out there like, hey, there's some so-called looking Negroes with big afros and they're coming to kill everybody. Like, they didn't really let you know. Okay? They tried to like say a whole bunch of stuff to make the narrative in their eyes, you know, to make it seem like they had control of it. Right? Because that's how they do. You know, they want to deceive you because they know they don't have no power. So all they have is their money to deceive you with their enchantments and their forges of lies. So we're just going to read this and we're going to see what this is talking about. And then we're going to pull some precepts concerning concerning the scriptures. So a Michigan legislator was caught on tape predicting somebody would shoot someone and a civil war would happen if the government continues to prosecute conservatives for election crimes, blah, blah, blah. So we know that's talking about, you know, that spirit of Emperor Nero, which we know is Mr. D. Trump. You know, we know that's them. You know, there's a guy who was put to death or whatever for threatening to kill Biden the other week. Okay, so this is showing that division in America, Babylon the Great. And if there's division here, there's also going to be divisions across the four corners of the earth. That's why you got stuff going on in Africa. The Lord is causing all these kingdoms to come against themselves. Okay, and this is to show that through this time that we just about done. So the comments heard on a recording provided to the messenger are from State Rep Maddox, who along with his life former Michigan GOP CO Chair Mashawn Maddox held a fundraiser at their Milford home on August 4th. Okay, the 16 electors poolside party, blah blah blah. They had a little, little fundraiser was hosted by the Grand New Party PAC chaired by State Representative Steve Clare, R3 Rivers. The event also briefly featured Mashawn Maddox, who was one of the 16 Michigan Republicans charged last month with submitting false electoral votes on December 2020 in support of former President Donald Trump. Okay, but we know this place is rigged anyways. And the fact that he's got 400 plus charges against him and he ain't even doing no time and they still talking about him in the polls is more looking likely that he's not going nowhere. Because he has things linked to where it's like, hey, you want to try to lock me up? Hey, I'll break the whole lid on this motherfucker and let everybody know what the fuck going on. He's got his little minions or whatever that'll do that. If he pressed the button, man, he say, yeah, they take me to jail. Hey, let everybody know really what's going on in America, Babylon the Great. So that's why he's still out here. They're trying to find a way to, get him without exposing the whole operation. So if the government continues to weaponize these departments against conservatives and the citizens that are then the taxpayers, you know what's going to happen in this country? Matt Maddox is her asking the crowd. Someone responded, communism. Said the goal is communism, right? Maddox continued, or Marxism, the Democrats dream, right? But what's going to happen before that? It says someone's going to get pissed off. They're going to shoot someone, said Maddox. That's what's going to happen. Or we're going to have a civil war or some sort of revolution. That's where this is going. And that revolution, they looking on a smaller scale because they think that they're the ones in control. But we know this is Bahasham and Yahawahshi going to bring us back to our state, and when that happens, we're going to get squashed. The people are going to be the first ones to go. He letting you know. They letting you know. They're just doing it in a way where if you're not if you're not listening to the right people, which we know is Great Millstone, you're gonna be stuck with false doctrine, a false warning. But through the spirit, we can see that these Edomites are scared, man. They know what's finna go down. They kingdom. So they're putting these things out in the open, but they have to do them in a certain way, or they won't let them publish them. They got to do it in a way to incite fear, to make people want to take that seat here. That's why they allow that kind of talk on these high platforms, of Civil War and World War III, because they're trying to scare people into taking that seat here, because they're gonna come to a point where they say, well, if you don't take this, you're not gonna be safe from the destruction. Okay, that's what they're trying to convince Jake, but it's completely the opposite. So 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 31, and it reads, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another. See, it's going to be the Israelites versus the other 17 nations, man. Not just Esau, Edom. He's just the head. But this is going to be us versus everybody. It's all them versus us. They ain't never been for us. So one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another, right? So this is going to be Bahasham and Yahawahshi's realm versus the physical world. And, anybody in a logical mind can understand that there's no way that a physical world is going to overtake a spiritual world, especially one that can create everything. Anybody who has a logical mind, what I mean by logical, is one that the Lord has revealed the scriptures to. Because if the Lord didn't reveal the scriptures to you, then that means that you don't even have You don't even have a conscience. Okay, your conscience is going to be destroyed. It's literally being prepped to be destroyed, and you're not going to be your conscience or whatever you think about is never going to be have the energy to do it again. It's going to be gone. So that's what I mean by anybody logical. The ones that are going to actually be around forever. Okay, everybody else is going to come to a different state of thinking of we're here to serve y'all. Okay, and that's what's happening. And in our mind state is what? We're here to serve Yahawah, Bahasham, and Rawchaa, right? Because when we get up there, what does it say about, honor your woman as a weaker vessel? Well, to us, Yahawah, Bahasham, and Rawchaa, us the men, first and foremost, Israel is basically his wife, which means what? We're his weaker vessel. So he's going to honor us by what? Upholding his word and doing everything he said he's going to do for us, man. So 2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 32, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen, which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man descending, right? He's not coming as a mortal man this time. Last time he wasn't ascending. He came out just like everybody else as a baby. Okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit more later. So, verse 33, and when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have once against another. So they're going to see that happen. They're going to be like, oh man, Bahasham Rawchaa said, they're going to stop fighting. Verse 34, and an innumerable multitude, which we know that's in Revelations chapter 7, or chapter, I believe it's chapter 7, verse 9. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together. Those are all the ones that cling to the body of Yahawah, Bahasham, and Rawchaa. And this is just showing you the Apocrypha is literally tied in with the, with the Bible that we're just taking out for a time. So an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and to overcome him by fighting, right? But he shall stand upon the top of Mount Sion, which is Israel, that's Yahawah, and Sion, which is Israel, shall come and shall be sold to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest a hill graven without hands. And in the other precepts, in the scriptures, it talks about the Lord dwells in the temple not made with hands. All this stuff, all these different apostles and disciples that came across different times all had the same understanding. Okay, verse 37. This my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations. What's those nations? The other 17 nations, starting with Esau, Edom, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest. Verse 38, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented. What? The fire, the plagues, the boils from taking the MARK, the mark of the beast, and by this time, if you don't know what that is, hey, the Lord's got you blinded, because they even saying this stuff on news. They even letting you know bluntly, anybody with a logical mind can understand this, right? Which are like unto a flame, he shall destroy them without labor by the law which is like unto me. See, he is going to destroy these people, man. Okay, he's going to take these people out, man. But first, he's gonna make them jack themselves up a little bit. And then the Lord's gonna come down and show them, hey, yeah, I had you doing all that. Now I'm gonna finish you off. So all their fighting is in vain. That's why we'd be like, why would you want to go join the military? Why would you want to go join these heathens and them destroying themselves? It doesn't make any sense. 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 15. For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, which means it's close, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And that's going to be them, because our weapons are not carnal. So we're not going to take any carnal means in this time. That's why I said some of us will be taken to prison. Why? Because we're not fighting back with carnal means. We're going to trust in Yahawah, Bahasham, and Rawchaa, regardless of whatever our lot is. 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 24. So 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 24, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, right? So that's why you got to be real careful who you call a friend, especially somebody who's not in the truth, because that could come out to a fatal situation, And even the ones that, that are around you in the truth. You want to be long forbearing and suffering and watch over them as they watch over you, you know, because anybody who believes in Bahasham Yahawahshi is going to consider the people that trust in the Lord around them. You know, they're going to consider, you know, because we're going to end up in this situation together at some point, you know, wherever the captivity is. Everybody else that understands what's going on logically, spiritually in that situation, you know, y'all all going to go through your own trials, but you're going to go through them together. You know, just like if you was on the battlefield and you see one of your friends over there, he fighting in that trench, and you over here fighting in one not too far away. Or we might be fighting in the same trench together, you know, through the spirit, you know, but it will get physical. But we praying that the Lord gives us spiritual powers at that time. And he might only just give us part of them. We don't know. You know, you might be able to fly and stuff and still die. We don't know. But we know this. We know the Lord is going to lift up the standard against them, you know. And we're praying we're of the elect, you know, so we can fight through that part. So in the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still. In 3 hours they shall not run. So, you know, that's just showing the great destruction coming, you know. For all those who don't believe in Yahawahshi, even the ones who believe in Yahawahshi is going to go through much tribulation. Nobody's getting out of this very tough time that we're coming through. There's just only a majority of us who are preparing and understand the seriousness of it. Isaiah chapter 60, verse 18. Violence, after this all happens, there's going to be so much violence, says, violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders, which is talking about the land of Israel, first and foremost, because that's all that's in there right now, because we're not over there, we're in captivity. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation and thy gates praise. See? That's what we're getting to. And another thing I want to do, says call thy gates praise. You see how it's capitalized? When there's stuff like that in the scriptures, when it's capitalized, that's signaling, that's like signaling something. Okay? So I'm gonna show you something. Real quick. Let me see. Sometimes in the middle of a sentence when they do that, they're specifically trying to bring something out. You know, the prophets, who the Lord sent to do this work. Go to this blue letter. So in thy gates praise. Look that up. So we're gonna call the gates. Okay, those gates that's gonna block off the rest of the world from Israel. Okay.
Strong's H 8416. Tehillah.
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 Tehillah. See, it says praise song or hymn of praise. This is that song of Moses that we're talking about, that victory over, you know, our enemies. Praise, adoration, thanksgiving paid to the Most High. See, we're going to be here. We're going to be giving all thanks to Bahasham Rawchaa that we get out of here. Okay, in whatever way that we were chosen to get out of here. Act of general or public praise. See, other nations are going to worship us too. You know, they're going to worship Bahasham Rawchaa. Praise song as title. Praise demanded by quality or deeds, attributes of the Most High. Renown. We're going to be renowned, have fame, glory. We're going to get back those things. You know, we're going to be renowned, renewed. You know, it's going to be new bodies, new everything. You know, so that's just something I wanted to bring out. You know, we could go into the root word, but you know, we'll just keep going. Got a lot of things I got to handle, and you know, I'm also Lord putting the spirit on me to deal with a lot of these I got another channel that I just made. I'll put it on my comment board at some point later today. But it just it like shows like, you know, movies that we like, things that we knew as kids, you know, and growing up in kids today, the same things that they show kids today. You know, there's things that the Lord reveals in those small videos and stuff. So that's Lord, He putting the Spirit on me to, you know, make a channel and do something about that. So I'll be doing that later, Lord willing, before I go to the plantation. So Proverbs chapter 14, verse 34. And it says, righteousness exalted a nation. And right, and that's what He said. We're gonna get praise for the righteousness that we're portraying to the best of our abilities, because we know our righteousness is as filthy rags. But the fact that we have the 100% truth, which is from Great Millstone, we know that we have righteousness. You know, we're justified by His blood. So righteousness exalted the nation, which is the nation of Israel. But sin is a reproach to any people. So everybody else who is thinking that sin is going to be what overcomes everything, it's going to be a reproach to them. Okay, it's going to be their destruction. This is Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4. And it reads, and He shall judge among the nations, and He shall rebuke many people. That's after, you know, all this war and stuff happened. They're gonna basically come up to the house of David, you know, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks, which means that He's gonna, you know, basically put them into agricultural work. Because why? Because they're gonna have to go into slavery. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So that's the time that's coming. That time's coming to where there's not going to be no more war after this. It's not going to need to be. Everybody's going to fear Yahawahshi. Psalm chapter 46, verse 10, be still. And it's not saying just stand there and look at stuff. Like, you got to move around and shit and do shit. But it's saying be still, like, in your doctrine. Be still in your faith in Yahawahshi. Regardless of what you go to, be still. Don't change up your loyalty for Yahawahshi. Stand firm. So be still and know that I am the Most High. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. You see? And that's why when you go look at the churches and whatnot, they be saying, be still and know that I'm done, that know that He is God, right? But they don't never read the rest of that to you. They don't ever tell you who's He's going to exalt Himself over. He doesn't tell people who's heathens. They don't do that stuff at church. Okay? Because I got that 5013C. They can't do that kind of stuff. Okay? So this is how we know we cannot trust these false prophets, these teachers that are coming at us with this, you know, this half of scripture ass, you know, lessons that they do. So Psalms chapter 29, verse 11. Just the fact it says heathen, that shows everybody isn't equal. The Lord's not coming to save all heathens. He's coming to save just His people. He's calling them heathens. Why? Because they don't mean nothing to Him. Just like it says in 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 56. They ain't nothing to Him. So Psalms chapter 29, verse 11. The Lord will give strength unto His people. His people. The Lord will bless His people with peace. Right? And He also said that He had thoughts of peace towards us, so that we have an expected end. We know that no matter what we go through, some of us going to get our heads chopped off. Some of us going to possibly die by the sword, whatever. We know the end. We know the expected end. What? We're going to get the new bodies. We're going to be blessed with a crown of life because, you know, we didn't turn back. We were still in our faith, you know. So it's not really much to worry about, you know. Some of us gonna die painfully, man. But that's gonna be the last time, man. It's gonna be over with, you know. What they need to worry about is they're gonna go on 1,000 years of slavery, and damn near a lot of the people that they killed is gonna be ruling over them. Okay, in that time, a lot of those 144,000 elect men, some of them gonna die here, get their heads chopped off and whatnot, and they're gonna be ruling over those people who did that to them. What you think gonna happen to them? It's gonna be a horrible 1,000 years for their motherfucking ass. So we'll go into this next article. It says Russia fires warning shots and boards cargo ship in the Black Sea. So let's see what this is talking about. This happened just the other day. So a Russian warship fired warning shots. Let me bring this up a little bit. Slovakia. Let me go ahead and just, seems like I don't have to do this like my other laptop where I gotta be looking all into it and whatnot. Okay. Hold on. Bear with me. Starting to go slow for a second. Bear with me. All right. Something started glitching on there, Slovakia. So anyways, gonna read into this. It says a Russian warship fired warning shots and boarded a cargo ship it claims was headed to Ukraine in the Black Sea on Sunday, according to Russia's defense ministry. Russia pulled out of a UN and Turkish brokered deal in July that allowed Ukraine to move its grain via the Black Sea and warned that any ships headed to Ukraine would be treated as potentially carrying weapons. Ukraine made a similar threat to ships traveling to Russian ports. Russia said the warship fired warning shots when the captain of the Palu flagged dry cargo ship failed to respond to a request to stop for inspection. The Russian warship opened warning fire from automatic small arms to forcefully stop the vessel. The statement said the ministry claimed the ship named Supra Okan was headed to the Ukraine port, and Ismail marine traffic websites currently shows the cargo vessel's destination was a Romanian port of Salina, which is close to Ismail. Kyiv did not immediately comment on whether or not the ship was headed to the Ukrainian port. In order to inspect the bulk cargo ship, a Ka-29 helicopter with a group of Russian servicemen was hoisted from the patrol ship by Vasily Baikov, the ministry said. Following radio conversations, the ship stopped its course and the boarding team landed on the bulk cargo ship. This week, Ukraine announced that it will open up temporary humanitarian corridor ships to sail to and from its ports, and has opened up registration for merchant vessels to use the sea route. Both Russia and Ukraine are major grain producers, and their deal, a rare point of agreement in the middle of a war, did much to stabilize prices. Kyiv argues that Russia would draw amounts to a blockade of Ukrainian products. Russia long complained that it had been able to export its own foodstuffs, blah, blah, blah. Just showing that, it's a lot going on, and, other people are starting to get involved. The UN's getting involved. China's getting involved. Russia's getting involved. Hold on, Slovakia. I'm not understanding. I don't understand why my music is playing other stuff. Why is it not replaying my instrumental? Okay, get back over here. So I'm saying this computer's gotta start. What is going on? All right. All right. Okay. Playing random music and shit. Just gotta get this computer, all in the works. Just give it a second. Gotta take a second to load. One second, my screen is just straight blank right now. Okay. There we go. For some reason I pulled up a whole nother screen. All right. So anyways, I want to get into that. And then also we got over here. Showing Russia and China send message with ships in North American waters. So they over there in American Babylon the Great's waters. So we'll read a little bit of this. It says, get used to the new maritime normal. America, it is much the same as the old normal, familiar to anyone who served at the sea during the Cold War. Sailors take joy in appearing off the coast of hostile powers. The U.S. Navy does it and has for decades. In so doing, it reinforces reputation for proudness at sea, helping deter aggressors, comfort allies and friends, and uphold the international law of the sea. The Russian and the Chinese navies delight in it as well, but they weren't doing it like that. They are now because they know that they have a chance to beat American Babylon the Great. So, albeit for reasons we in the West regard as base, but we have little standing to object so long as they play by the rules of the game. They do what we do. So basically they're taunting each other right now. But there could be one time they just pull up in the sea like this and get to shooting, man. And just like the other Edomite said in the last article, somebody could just get to shooting, somebody gonna get mad, and somebody just gonna let off some shots, and it's gonna be, other people are gonna get involved, and it's gonna be a great war. So, but this is different. Russia and China weren't together at that time. Now they're coming together. They're both over there together. Just earlier this year, it was just Russia over there. Now China over there too. In our waters, and they sitting over there. They got probably intercontinental ballistic missiles on those ships, man. So ain't nothing to play with, man. This could get real serious, which it will, because we know what Yahawah promised us. He said he's going to make Satan destroy himself. So we know in Revelation chapter 11, verse 14, it says the second woe is past and the third woe is coming quickly, right? Which is World War III. That's what it's talking about. Because woe just means destruction, and there was great destruction in the second woe. It was talking about World War II. And this is going to be that last destruction. So we're going to pull up Isaiah chapter 13, verse 17. And it says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Who's the Medes? The Medes is Russia, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Why? Because they want power. And they already got their own resources. They don't have as much as America Babylon the Great does. But when you look at the GOP of all the BRICS, when they come together, it's going to be a lot more than America Babylon the Greats by themselves. Okay? It's going to be bad for this place. And this is the Lord fulfilling these prophecies. You know, as we wake up in our captivity and go all about our little lives, doing whatever we can to do just to stay afloat here. You know, but the Lord's going to make sure that he exalts his name among the heathen and show them that really we are what mattered the whole time. So James chapter 5, verse 3. And why are we matter? Because we exalted the name of Yahawah. So James chapter 5, verse 3, your gold and the silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it will fire. Ye have heat treasured together for the last days. See, they ain't gonna. This is the last time, and that intercontinental missiles is gonna take this place out. So this is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 19. And it reads, it says, they not regarding gold and silver, what's America Babylon the Great doing? They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in that day. So ain't gonna be no bribes, ain't gonna be no, we got this, please, I got gold. No, he's gonna kill you and take the shit of the wrath of the Lord. So, right, not delivering the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. All this money got them thinking that they can't come down. You know, that money made America Babylon the Great real proud. And it's finna be the reason why, you know, they get wiped off the face of the earth forever. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 35. And of course, we know in the kingdom, they'll come back, but they ain't gonna have no damn kingdom. They're gonna be in slavery. But after that 1,000 years of slavery with the other nations, you know, Esau, Edom will be destroyed, of course. And then, you know, the other nations will be tributaries unto us. But, you know, like they'll be tributaries unto us, but they'll still have their own land and stuff. You know, they'll have to give us 10% of everything that they make. So they still get 90%. You know, they gonna like living under us more than Esau Edom. Esau Edom be taking way more than 90% from everybody. He take damn near everything we got. Okay? Through all the different taxes. Because not let alone you get your money. As soon as you get your money, it get taken out. You go to the store, buy something that get taxed. Everything you pay get taxed on, man. So anyways, it says, cast not away therefore your confidence. See, we're supposed to not cast away our confidence. We're supposed to have confidence of these prophecies, which have a great recompense of reward. You know, we're expecting a reward from Yahawahshi for being faithful, you know, regardless of what we go through. So Isaiah, and that's a good thing to have confidence about. Confidence and pride are two different things. You're not supposed to have pride. It said, before pride comes the fall, before pride comes before the fall. So we don't want to fall into temptation of disobeying Yahawah through pride. We want to have confidence that if we do what he says do, then we're going to get out of here. You know, in the end, we're going to make it into the kingdom. So Isaiah chapter 2, verse 20, even through death, right? Because it said, nor death, nor principalities, anything is going to be able to separate us from the Most High. That's what it says in the scripture. So, you know, I might even pull it up. So Isaiah chapter 2, verse 20. In that day, man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats. Right? To go into the clefts of the rocks, into the top of the ragged rocks, for the fear of the Lord and the glory of his majesty when he arises to shake terribly the earth. And how is he going to shake it? Through the intercontinental ballistic missiles. But there's many things that, you know, are happening before that time. It's just like, like introductions to what he's about to do to the earth. It's going to be terrible because it's going to be tsunamis and everything. We're talking about 200 million intercontinental ballistic missiles hitting America, Babylon the Great. You don't think there's going to be earthquakes? There's going to be earthquakes, landslides. There's going to be all types of stuff going on in the other countries. There's going to be tsunamis. A lot of places that islands and stuff are going to be underwater. Okay, so and there's going to be elect over there. The Lord's going to have to beam them up, man. It's going to be crazy. Man, it's going to be wild, man. There ain't going to be nothing that we expect other than, what we know through the scriptures. So, and this is just to show that they're going to do it. Okay? It's going to show that these other nations are going to do it. They're going to send these missiles over here. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 10, thus saith the Lord Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawahshi, it shall also come to pass at the same time. See, it's going to be stuff happening all at once, a bunch of different things happening at once. Shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And those are those other nations shooting those missiles over here, man. Okay? And the Lord's making them do it because we know in Revelation 17:17 that, he's got them fulfilling his will. So let me do this real quick. The Lord put the spirit on me to go ahead and pull this up. So this is the mindset we got to have going into Jacob's trouble into this World War III, man. Jacob's trouble got to have first, which is that mark of the beast being implemented, which we know is a CBDC system, the central digital bank currency system. They're saying you got to have that incision in your right hand or your forehead. You can't buy or sell. They telling us that now, bluntly. That's why we saying if you still saying something else, like these other camps, hey man, Lord's got you doing that because that's your lot. So Romans chapter 4 verse 38, for I am persuaded that neither death nor life nor angels nor principalities nor power nor things present nor things to come, right? It said death, even if we die, right? Nor height nor depth nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of the Most High, which is in Mashiach Yahawahshi, our Lord. See, so there's nothing that can separate us from the Most High. Okay, even if we do perish here, for the prophecy's sake. Okay, some of us will have to die, the ones that believe. And that's the whole thing that people got to understand, that this is going to be a very serious time. But if we die, we want to die with honor. We want to die in the sense that we said, Lord, we did everything we could to the last breath. If you got one, in that last breath, you're going to come back immortal, okay? And then you're going to get taken up in the clouds with everybody else who didn't die. And we'll be together watching the destruction of America, Babylon the Great, Lord willing. So Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. And you remember in my video, there's a video I did, the ones who watched it, it's called Who is Esau Edom? Okay, and it talks about how Cain, when you look up his son Tubal Cain, his name means smith. And what did he make? He made the weapons. So look over here. He created the smith. Who's the smith? The so-called white man, because they making the damn weapons. Okay, he's the weapon, and he's gonna get destroyed with his own weapons that he made out of metal, the intercontinental ballistic missiles. So he created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. This makes you think of stuff like Oppenheimer. Okay, they created this stuff, and that's why at the end of the movie he was like, yeah, man, I think we created something that's going to destroy the whole earth. It's going to destroy the whole, not the whole earth, but it's going to destroy the face of it as we know it. So a smith that bloweth coals in the fire and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, I have created the waster to destroy. See? And that's the intercontinental ballistic missiles coming. So we're gonna move on from there to show you these are the things that are coming to pass. Now we're gonna look over here. And it says tasers, taunts, torment. Okay. How six so-called white officers subjected two so-called black men, because we know the white people is Esau, Edom, and you know the so-called white man, and the black ones is tribe of Judah, which is Jacob. But Israel, he said in Hosea that my he's not Hosea. He said this. He said my heritage is a speckled bird. So let's just look that up real quick before we finish reading that. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 9. And it reads, mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird, right? Well, he's not talking about actual birds, talking about people. All shades of brown. The birds round about are against her. What's the other birds? The other 17 nations. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. And that's what they did. They came and took away our heritage. They put us in slavery. They did all types of things. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Shalom. Bahasham, Barak, Atham, all across the comic board. You know, that's what they did. So we're going to go over here. It was talking about, you know, they tried to cover it up. That's what Esau Edom does. They did all that grueling violence to Jake, and they tried to cover it up, man. That's what they do. That's what they did to us. They raped and pillaged the land, you know, raped our women, did all types of stuff, man. Then they want to go talk about at the church they love Jesus Christ. Man, they better get their weird ass out of here with that shit, man. So we're going to go down here and read a little bit. On the evening of January 24th, it's actually got a little video. Might just play the video this time. Turn my music down real quick. Damn demons, man. Always fucking with Jake. It's perpetual hatred, man. Because of the blessing that we have. This spirit. And that's what we say.
6 white former law enforcement officers have pleaded guilty to charges related to the torture of 2 black men.
Let's go in here and listen to this a little bit. Why you stop? Oh, it's loaded. It's locked. Give it a second.
CNN's Ryan Young reports on the unthinkable violence that unfolded just this year in Mississippi. And a warning, this story contains graphic content.
Hey, I'll tell you now, I'm from Greenville. My family from Greenville, Mississippi, and it's bad over there, man. That was one of them real, you know, Lord was judging Jake over there heavily. And also, you know, across the 4 corners of the earth. But, you know, hey, man, I was blessed that my parents took me out of there, you know, at a young age. You know, I was blessed. So, you know, this is pretty edifying right here for me as well.
Became the criminals they swore to protect us from.
They allegedly call themselves the Goon Squad, a group of 6 white former Mississippi law enforcement officers giving themselves that moniker because of their alleged willingness to use excessive force and not to report. Now, they pleaded guilty to federal charges related to an assault that, according to a charging document, included nearly 2 hours of torture, physical, racist, and sexual abuse to black men after a white neighbor complained. Several black males have been staying at the property, and the neighbor had observed suspicious behavior.
And that was it. All Esau Edom did was say a little bit, and they did all that to him, man. What makes you think when Jacob's trouble comes, some of us not going to get tortured? They got tortured for 2 hours, man. They even said sexually, man. They did a lot of jacked up stuff, just like they did in slavery, man. They called it butt breaking. Man, they did a lot of wicked shit to us, man. And people talking about well, they gotta pay for this. They can't be forgiven. Fuck no. They gotta fucking die for that shit, man. Fuck them.
The officer who received the complaint directed an investigator to take care of it. On January 24th, 6 law enforcement officers entered victims Eddie Parker and Michael Jacobs' home without a warrant.
Handcuffing the victims behind their backs and using racial slurs and derogatory language when yelling at the victims, discharging a firearm in order to scare and intimidate the victims, holding them down and pouring cooking oil, milk, alcohol, and chocolate syrup on their faces and into their mouths, forcing them to painfully and involuntarily ingest those liquids, striking one of the victims with objects including a metal sword, a piece of wood, and a wooden kitchen implement, kicking one of the victims in the ribs, tasing the victims dozens of times with department-issued tasers, and stealing personal belongings from the house.
It ended with Jenkins getting shot in the mouth, the bullet
Look at
lacerating
Jake,
his tongue, breaking his jaw, and exiting out of his neck. For months, there was a lot of doubt about the official account of what took place.
Look at Jake, man. Got his thumbs up, man. He ain't even serving Yahawahshi, man. And that's the kind of stuff that'll happen to you if you're not in the grace of Yahawahshi, man. The Lord allowed that to happen for some reason, man. We don't know why, but we know this. It was unjust what they did, but at the same time, the Lord allows you to be judged in a specific way like that if you're not serving them, man. The Lord, and that's what's harsh about this situation, is that the Lord don't even give a fuck. Okay? If you're not serving him, he's gonna allow these devils to do whatever the fuck they want to you. All right? I mean, it's gonna be in vain. So you want to make sure that you're serving Yahawahshi, man. Because this shit can get real ugly, man.
The Mississippi Department of Public Safety releasing a statement the day after the incident saying only the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is investigating an officer-involved shooting, but that didn't encapsulate the horror. In July, I spoke to Parker, Jenkins, and Jenkins' mother and toured the home where the crimes occurred.
I crawled here to this spot, and they started beating me here and tasing me. As you can see, blood spots and all. And my blood spots there.
Jenkins' injuries make it difficult for him to speak.
I'm embarrassed.
Has anyone from the department ever reached out to you and apologized? Have they ever asked for anything at all?
Hell no, Jake. It said that they won't even be concerned with us, man. Hell no, Jake. Them demons ain't gonna do shit, man. They don't give a fuck, man. And the only reason why that they're pleading guilty is because they have to, or the lid's gonna be blown on the rest of the officers that all of them are some demons, man.
Rankin County Sheriff Ryan Bailey spoke at a press conference about the incident in late June.
I believe in my heart this department remains one of the best departments in our state, and I'm committed to doing everything in my power to keep this department on the correct path moving forward.
Yesterday, he issued an apology and said he didn't fully understand the gravity of the crimes committed until recently. Federal authorities began their review in February.
What are you talking about, man? You hired these motherfucking men, and 6 of them. You telling me that 6 of them, they literally called themselves the Goon Squad, and they say that he didn't have no idea the situation. I thought they got body cameras. I thought they got a report every day, man, what they do. What are you talking about, man? That's what I'm saying, man. You can't trust these motherfuckers. You cannot trust Esau Edom, man. They are demons. So, okay, brother posting a lot of precepts. I ain't going to leave them out. We're going to pull them up. So this is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 10. Thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me, man. That's what they think. They don't think Yahawahshi see them, man. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it have perverted thee, man. You see that they said they was pouring honey on them and all types of stuff, took their stuff out the house. Man, they probably beat the mess out of him and took his Xbox, man. You know, that's all Jake got is the damn Xbox, man. We already don't got nothing else, man. You gonna take my Xbox? I can't even watch movies now. They had to go through that kind of shit, man. After getting beat the dog shit out of. And ain't nobody said nothing until 6 months later, and then Esau Edom like, this atrocity is horrible. No, these motherfuckers is demons. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Right? That's what they say, man. The water, brother, for the precepts. We're gonna do another one. Oh, wait, it's what he said. He said, Esau still got Jake further suffering in Mississippi from the effects of the water drought, just like in Michigan. Yeah, and they passed the Jim Crow laws too. They got Jim Crow laws reinstated back out there. Okay, this shit ain't no game over there in the SIP, you know, and you know, all my family over there, man. I got a lot of family over there that, you know, that's still not in the truth. Lord willing, they come to the truth. My family, you know, people in my family, my immediate family, starting to slowly wake up. They're not really responding to me when they ask me questions or whatever, but you know, it's all about being patient and giving them time, man. It's hard to realize that everything around you is a lie, you know, for some. So you got to be patient and long forbearing and suffer with them, you know. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. Yep, that's they did. And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away, so that thou wait, Salakia, so that thou shalt be mad, okay, for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. That's why we mad, man. This is our people, bro. Okay, and we know, of course, Jake, he wasn't serving Yahawahshi, so the Lord allowed him to get taken, but it's still our people, man. We still be like, man, hey, you gotta serve Yahawahshi, man, or it's over for your ass. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we hate seeing this shit, man. Jake tired, man. Jake is just ready to go home, man. Even 2/3, they just don't know. They just don't understand. But that's their lot, so we can't really get mad at them. We can be like, fuck them, because that's our lot to be like, fuck them, because they're not changing in the spirit. But it's really not like we hate that person. We just hate what they're doing. We're hating that they're not going to change, and that's what we hate about it. Like, damn, man. And it really keeps us in a low state, too, because it's like, damn, man. We sin against the Lord so bad, and 2/3 of our people that crucified him, along with Judas, they can't come back right now, man. So, this is just part of our grieving, man. Israel's down right now, man. But really, we up, man, because through this, we're going to get to reign forever through that much tribulation, which is Acts chapter 14, verse 22. So Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 5, who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem, which we know how it says Jerusalem. That's how you really say that. Or whom shall bemoan thee, or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest. And that's why they didn't come back. And you're right, brother. They still lynching Jake down there in the South. They still is. They still is. We know these things, man. And all of us are vexed from these situations, because there's some people who were serving Yahawahshi, Esau, Edom did some horrible things too, man. So at the same time, we still like, man, fuck these motherfuckers, man.
They, along with the state of Mississippi, were able to secure guilty pleas of all accused.
Not only did they brazenly commit these acts, but after inflicting serious bodily injury by firing a shot through one of the victims' mouths, they left him lying in a pool of blood.
You hear that?
Gathered on the porch of the house.
You hear that? They shot Jake right in the fucking mouth, and he survived, man. So that's the thing about the Lord. You don't want to serve Yahawahshi, and you a male. Hey, the Lord allowed a demon to do that to you to get you to wake the fuck up. Okay? Hey, wake the fuck. Lord willing, these brothers come across Yahawahshi, man. Cause this kind of shit, hey, man, the Lord will allow that shit to happen to you. We ain't even in Jacob's trouble yet. And that shit happened to them, man.
To discuss how to cover it up. What indifference, what disregard for life.
A life that will never be the same for either of these
and
two.
You hear that? You hear Esau Edom, what a disregard for life. You motherfuckers raped and pillaged all the land, bruh. What are you fucking talking about, man? You the same motherfuckers that's back who raped and pillaged the land, raided Israel in 70 AD, did all this fucking shit you did. What the fuck you talking about? So you can't stop to it. I'm telling you, man. Said I love Jacob and I hated Esau. Why? Because they some fucking demons, man. The Lord says he hates the wicked, man. Okay, but he made them so we can know how not to be. So, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. Satan is also a son of the Most High, but he's the wicked son. That's what his job is, to do his wickedness. And they're doing a good job. Okay? But it says the righteous will hate these motherfuckers, man. We hate these motherfuckers, man, for that kind of shit. Ain't nobody coming to look out for us, man. All we got is ourselves, man. Salakia, let me punch that back in. Deuteronomy 25:17. This is another one that I want to bring up. So it says, remember what Amalek, and Amalek is the first descendants of Esau, right? Amalek is the first descendants, which is basically like the Rothschilds, the rich. Okay, hold on. Some reason my thing going back and not playing the same. Get back over here. I don't know what be going on with this computer. It just be doing whatever it want to do. Okay. So, as I was saying, it says, remember what Amalek did to thee by the way. Well, we're supposed to remember these things. Why are we supposed to remember? Because we was there. But it says in Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 11, there will be no remembrance of the former things. So how are we able to remember? Through what the men, our forefathers, wrote us. But we are forefathers. That's why we can read these things and have feelings towards them like, man, it's almost like I knew that. It's like I'm remembering something that was taught to me. Okay? So remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way. When ye were come forth out of Egypt, right? Last time we came out of Egypt, okay, because we trapped in the spiritual Egypt now, which is Revelation chapter 11, verse 8, where it's spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Okay? And we know that because why? Just even in the carnal sense, there's pyramids on all the dollars. Okay? We know that this place is Egypt. Okay? Egypt means bondage, slavery. And it says Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, that we were taken over here on ships. You know? They even had a ship called Jesus Lombard. Okay? And that ship literally took us over here into slavery, man. And they got our people over here calling on that bullshit. Okay? There wasn't no J's invented until the 1500s. That's bullshit. His name is Yahawahshi. Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 18. How he met thee by the way, and smote the hindmost of thee, which means what? Women and children, man. Because how we used to walk around was the men would go first, and the women and children will be behind us following. So even all that were feeble behind thee, even thou was faint and weary, and he feared not the Most High. And Esau even still don't fear the Most High today. After we see with this, he over here jacking up those men, man. You know, and they might be men who come into the truth of Yahawah at the time. But if you're not trusting in Yahawah, whatever you go through, it don't matter if it's a horrible, you were done wrong. The Lord does not care, man. You got to be serving for his will, for whatever you doing to mean something. And that's the one thing that throw off a lot of jakes. They're like, so you saying he didn't care about that? Hell no, he ain't care about that shit. You ain't care about Yahawah and considering what's going to happen. Because it says, if you don't tell people and warn people what's happening, the bloodshed's going to be on your ass. So we're supposed to be doing that shit, man. You're not doing that shit. You're basically a soldier who ain't shooting his damn gun. Who the fuck has honor for a soldier ain't shooting his fucking weapon, man? You got to shoot your weapon, and our weapon is the Bible. You got to be shooting these motherfuckers, these scriptures every day. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? Every day. Just like they shooting at us with this real shit. They shot Jake in the fucking mouth, man. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of people. He's wicked because it's a lot of Jake in Mississippi, man. I was in the town. I was in Greenville, 8 miles from the Mississippi Bridge. Ain't nothing but Jake over there. Okay, I only seen one Edomite over there. Okay, and it was a real rural town. Like it was ran down. Okay, it was like you could see like, hey, this was slavery over here. Okay, there's bars on all the windows. Like even in the stores, you couldn't wear hoodies in the stores. Like I'm from a hard place. Okay. And you go in that motherfucker, and there was only one Edomite in the whole Kroger's. We didn't even have a Walmart, okay? We didn't know what the fuck that was. We knew we had a Kroger's, and it was so busted up, it wasn't even the lights wasn't even shining on the damn sign, okay? Shit was bad over there, man. Leaves growing all over the damn building and shit. You could tell, like, hey, this is what the product of slavery, man. Try to say this is home of the free, land of the free. Hey, man, we was enslaved over there, man. Shit ain't no fucking game in Mississippi, man. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 10, like I said, never trust thine enemy, right? His iron is rusty, man. or just his ways. Just as iron rusts, so his wickedness, man. It's gonna get worse and worse and worse, because that's what iron does. As it rusts, it gets worse and worse. That's how their wickedness is. It's just gonna get worse, man. These motherfuckers is not some people you want to put your faith in. So Isaiah chapter 11 verse 1. And I don't mean to talk too much, Salakia. I try to get over with the but it's gonna be a little longer because the Spirit, had me dealing with the brother's precepts. He got some more. We finna pull them up. Psalms chapter 73 verse 8. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. That's right. That's right, Art, the water. So now we're going to get in here. Isaiah, okay, chapter 11, verse 1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse. Right? Someone come out of rod, right? So I want to pull up something. It says a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. This is something I want to pull up. This is something, a little, something I want to pull up. The Lord's putting the Spirit on me to deal with today. And today's a big day for me. Like, there's things that I don't want to mention, but there's things that are like very, it's very like, it's almost like history repeating itself. Like something very, very special is happening to me for me today, especially just before the blowing of the trumpets and things like that. And man, it's just like, but I try not to get too much into it and put my business out there too much. I try to be discreet, but something very beautiful is happening today. I started in the closet in this truth a year ago, and where I'm at now, it's like, man, why do you, how about Rawchaa, man? I couldn't have did that, man. It ain't me. I know that, and he did that just to show you can't do nothing without me, son. That's what he told me, man. You can't do nothing without me, man. There ain't no way. And there ain't no way I'm going to deviate from that, man, from what he did for me. I was really down, man. The Lord brought me to a lower state. I was patient. He brought me here, man. I'm telling you, man. It's work every day. I'm putting in work every day. Lord willing. If I'm alive. So it's Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1. Like it said, and there shall come forth a rod. I want to look at that word rod. Okay? Because they're always talking about how there's no seed line. They're trying to say like Gabriel, some spiritual angel came and put his seed in Mary and had the baby. That's bullshit. Okay, it was a group of men. It was a lineage of men. There was 14 generations and then another 14 generations in captivity. Okay, and Jesse was David's father. Okay, so we're going to point this out. But we remember when I was talking about in that Esau-Edom lesson, it was talking about how there's 3 different types of trees, and there was trees that envied.
Strong's H2415.
Hotel, right? That's what it's saying. So we're gonna go down here. It says branch, twig, rod. But when we were looking in Ezekiel, it was talking about how there were trees that envied Adam, which were the Adamites. They became the Adamites, and then they became the Shemites, and then they later became the Hebrew Israelites. When you start to really get into it, so right. So out of his roots, I'm gonna look this up too. But it's just to show that I'm trying to show like basically you have to have a spiritual understanding to understand the parable of it. Okay, that's what I'm doing right now. So
Strong's H8328. Sheresh.
Right, so root.
And second entry. Shoresh.
Shoresh. Right, so it says root of people involving firmness. It says of people. See? Of people. It's not talking about an actual like tree or branch. It's talking about figuratively. See, root, bottom. So the bottom, what's that? The tribes of Judah, man. That's where Yahawahshi was going to come out of. Okay, through King David. Okay, that's what it was showing. It was showing out of a root. Okay, the bottom of our heritage. See, the righteous reign of the branch. There shall come forth out of a rod. And what's your rod? We know what your rod is. That's your thing, man. You stick your rod in a woman to have a baby. Out of the stem of Jesse, which is what? His seed. And a branch shall grow out of his roots. What's that? That's the tree of life, man. And the spirit of the Lord, Yahawah shall rest upon him. The spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, and the spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. And that's how we know that when David came, who came after that? His son, which we know is Yahawahshi. Why? Because the Lord promised that his seed would reign forever and will be ruled by his son. This stuff was promised, man. That's how we know. You see? Because it said that the Lord is ruler of all principalities. There's nobody else who's going to rule nothing. Yahawah is going to always rule in every situation. Okay? He said he makes all principalities. That's how we know he controls these devils. Okay? And he's allowing them to do what they got to do so they can be condemned. Okay? It has to be this way. So, verse 3, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. Quick! He shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. Verse 4, but with righteousness shall he judge the poor, which is what? No respecter of persons, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth, which is what? Lowly, ones who ain't got a lot of bread. Okay, and he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, which what did he do? When you look in 2 Ezra chapter 11 and verse 12, he was in the Roman Empire, and he was telling them demons they going down, and he got crucified for it. And with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. But this time after that, what is it? Well, first we're gonna look this up. I want to look this up first. This is 1 Samuel. First Samuel chapter 17, verse 12. And it reads, now David go back up, verse 12. Now David was the son of that Ephraimite of Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse. And he had 8 sons, and the man went among men, for an old man in the days of Saul, right? So we don't want to get too much into it, but that's just to show that David is the son of Jesse. Also says it right here. Acts chapter 13, verse 22, because these are things that, some people don't know. And brothers have taught it, but a lot of brothers' lessons got erased and stuff. They always taking brothers' pages down. So sometimes we got to go over the same stuff. Repetition is the key to keep edifying, things that they taken down. Because I'm telling you, the elders and apostles done lessons on all this. We want to keep that stuff up as much as possible. So Acts chapter 13, verse 22, because they be taking that stuff down, man. They be remaking this stuff, man. So Acts chapter 13, verse 22, and when he had removed him, he raised up unto them David to be their king, and whom he gave their testimony, and said, I have found David, the son of Jesse, a man after mine own heart, which shall fulfill my will. What's that will? To bring in the seed of Yahawah Bahasham and Yahawahshi, man. That was the whole thing. It had to be through a seed line of people. And what did it say in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15? I will separate thy seed. Okay? To do what? Bring forth Yahawahshi. To do what? Take out the works of the devil. Let's pull that up. Because devil just means deceiver. Which Esau eating the so-called white man. Talking about, so we didn't know that we didn't mean to shoot him in the mouth, and we didn't know that 6 of our officers were all doing the same damn thing this whole time. You fucking liars, man. Isaiah chapter 47, verse 3. Okay, and it reads, it says Yahawahshi came last time as a lamb, right? He came as a lamb, and he was slain at the earth after he told them that they were going down. Okay, so it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen, and I will take vengeance, and will not meet thee as a man. He's not coming as a man. He's going to come back as a God. He's going to fuck shit up. Okay, that's what we know. Who's he coming after first? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. This is Numbers chapter 24, verse 20. Oh, what is going on? Okay, Numbers chapter 24, verse 20. And when he looked on Amalek, which is the first grandson of Esau, which is the ones who have all the money, right? He took up his parable and said Amalek was the first of the nations, right? See, this is first. When you look up that word Amalek, it's the first grandson of Esau. Okay, the one who has all the provisions, which is now today the Dukes of Edom was who they were that back then, but now they're the Rothschilds and the other ruling families. So Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. And the money, that's what said that your money should be a witness against you. Them carrying this money for generations is to show who the fuck they are. Okay, because they're not gonna let go of that money. That's how we know who they are, through the spirit. Like they got all damn shit. You know, but even someone who has any type of understanding can see this. Okay, it's just, you know, these people who were like, no, it's still name is Jesus Christ. Like that's just like to show you that the Lord's really got their ass blinded, man. And there ain't no respect of persons, man. Even people that you know, that my immediate family that I care about are like that. I'm like, hey, the Lord's got your ass blinded. You better stop fucking playing, man. Okay? It don't matter who you is. Okay? Some of our family's gonna die in this shit, man. 1 John chapter 3, verse 8. Let me check. He had another precept. Let's go ahead and put it out. Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23. Can an Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spot? See, right? And didn't it say that leopards will rule over the city? That's talking about Esau, even so-called white men. Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. Right, brother. Hey, the water for that precept. That's a good one. Yeah, man. They meant to do evil. So that's how we know that not everybody is meant to serve Yahawahshi, man. So this is 1 John chapter 3, verse 8. He that committeth sin is of the devil, right? You saw even so-called white men, deceivers. For the devil sinneth from the beginning, which is when? In Genesis. Okay? This is the same person back. Okay? And Satan is a spiritual demon that controls the deceivers, which are the devils. For this purpose of the Son of the Most High was manifested that he might destroy the works of the devil. See? That's the whole point of this. Okay? So now we're going to keep going. I know this is a long lesson. Lord, just, you know, he's got me dealing with a lot today. You know, we try to do a lot because we know the Lord is only in this for the people who are in for the long run. You know, trying to warn you of everything that the Lord told me to warn you about. So now, this was pretty interesting. It says a group of 50 people shoplifted about $100,000 worth of luxury items from LA Mall using bear spray against guards. So we're going to watch a little bit of this. Jake is bugging out, boy. Hold on. Let me run it back, man. Jake is bugging out, boy. Woo. This look playing. They all got black hoodies on. Woo. Jake. He trying to pull it off the doggone. God damn, Jake, just take the bag and run what you got. Okay. Jake is bugged out, boy. He saw in there like, what the fuck, man? You can't arrest all 50 of them at once. Y'all ain't got enough handcuffs. You got your Jake working in there like, he probably know what's going on. He probably say, hey, bro, grab me something. Oh, Lord. No. Man, that's something else, okay? They can't even contain 50 Jakes, man. They was in there, boy. That was planned, okay? They got out with 100K.
So yesterday morning at about 10:22, our 911 center began receiving multiple calls.
I'm sorry, it's Lockie. I'm supposed to be not as laughing about that, but that was just funny seeing that. Okay, Jake is tired of this place, man. Oh, shit. Oh, boy. All right, let's read this shit. Let's get back into the precepts. Job chapter 27, verse 14. Them motherfuckers tore that motherfucker up. All right. So this is Job chapter 27, verse 14. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. What does that mean? They not happy with this place, man. They not happy with being good citizens no more. They don't care about none of that shit. They on jack shit up, okay? Especially Jake, but this is also talking about Esau Edom's kids, because none of them don't want to be in part of the military no more. No, you know, it's none of that. You know, they don't want to. They don't want to be here, man. They don't want to be here, man. And actually, let me find it. Hold on. I'm pull these up because there's one of them that was talking about the military. After this, I'm gonna bring up. So we're going to keep going. Verse 15, those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widow shall not weep. Right? Though he heap up silver as the dust and prepare raiment as the clay. See, that's what they're doing right now. Even 2/3 of Jake. They out here jacking purses and shit. Verse 17, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. So we know that in the end of all the provisions that they're stealing and stuff are just stored up for the righteous. They're not going to even get to have that shit. That shit's going to be left for the elect. Proverbs chapter 11 verse 2. When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. And what's this wisdom? We understand the will of Bahasham and Yahawahshi and things that we're supposed to do and not supposed to do. But obviously them in there, they didn't understand what Bahasham and Yahawahshi wanted them to do. Because it says thou shalt not steal. And they definitely was in there jacking a whole bunch of shit. So Galatians chapter 6, well, jack the fuck out that mall. Boy, they'll tear that motherfucker up. So Galatians chapter 6 verse 3. Man, boy, Jake ain't playing no more, man. He's tired. Hold on. Hold on. It's Locky. Oh, okay. Okay. Spelled it just a little wrong. Salakia. So Galatians. Thought it was like that. It just always be pulling up red whenever I do it, so I'll be thinking that it'd be spelling wrong. So Galatians chapter 6, verse 3, for if a man think himself to be something, when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. So we don't want to deceive ourselves. We're just messengers of the Lord. You think of us any more than that, then hey, you know, that don't think that, man. We just messengers of the Lord, man. We ain't nobody. We just out here trying to warn our people to the best of our abilities. Verse 4, let every man prove his own work. So how do we do that? Doing lessons, going out studying, doing camp, things like that, showing courtesy and showing our honor to the brotherhood, those kind of things. And then shall have rejoicing in himself alone and not in another. And we'll be rejoicing because why? Because we know we're fulfilling the will of Yahawah Bahasham and Yahawahshi to the best of our abilities. Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 7. All I meant this to not be as long, but hey, the Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of the Lord. Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 7. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee. Okay, no, actually, no, that's not the one I want. I want verse 17. Because those ain't strangers. Hey, them jakes that probably live not too far down the street. So Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 17. Thine heart is lifted up because of thy beauty, right? They got all the damn purses and shit and malls and all that shit. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by the reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground. I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee. And that's starting with simple situations like that. They getting their ass jacked up. That mall just lost 100 bands. Okay, I know they suffering off that. Okay, but that's what they get for being so oppressive to Jake. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 12. And it reads, for the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. So that's why we don't want to be high and lofty and proud and all that and think we're better than people, man. We ain't nobody. Verse 13, and upon all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of Bashan, I was talking about Esau, Edom first foremost, and upon all the high mountains, which is all the nations, and upon all the hills that are lifted up, which is the suburbs, and upon every tired tower and every fenced wall, and upon all the ships of Tarshish, and upon all the pleasant pitchers. They're going to be brought low. Okay, so I got just a little bit more. And I want to just show some videos of some chaos, put in a couple precepts, and then be done. So let me get over here. History. Yes, right here. So I got this one. I'm going to do a couple videos about, a bunch of different destructions that's happened over the last week. And then we're going to get out of here. Lord willing, I got enough time to do my little video, for, concerning, movies or shows that they've done for like children. I'm gonna do that on my other channel though. But it's gonna just kind of just show like, it's like once for children to show like, hey, like the Lord is also warning y'all too, through those things, but also, to listen to your parents as well. But, I'm just going to reveal some of the secrets of Esau, Edom, and his shows. But we know the Lord makes all the shows. So we're just going to read this a little bit. I don't want to watch the whole thing in 7 minutes and 10 seconds. So it says U.S. military, it says up here at the top, read the article. It says why recruiting and confidence in America's armed forces is so low right now. And just like it was saying in that, in Job, it said they would not be satisfied with bread. See, they don't want to go fight for this place. They don't want to honor this place. They don't have no honor for this place. So we're gonna get over here, and it says U.S. military has reached, and this is how we know the draft is coming through. The U.S. military has reached crisis levels of low recruitment. At the same time, the American public's perception of the armed forces is increasingly divided. In a recent Gallup poll, only 60% of the residents said they had confidence in the U.S. military, the lowest level in over 2 decades, right? Okay. Matthew Gault, a writer of Vice who covers the military, joins Ali Rogan to discuss today's U.S. armed forces face a number of challenges, how to support Ukrainian forces in the war against Russia, but they can't do that because why? Because we know that 9/11 was all staged. Everything that they've done has been just for their own means, and they haven't really been for their own people, man. So how to fend off sophisticated cyber attacks, counter China's growing military might, as Ali Rogan reports, just as important as these global challenges are the issues of the military forces at home. All the volunteer military reached crisis levels of low recruitment, while at the same time, the American public's perception of the armed forces is increasingly divided. A recent Gallup poll found that the confidence of the U.S. military is low as 2 decades. They said that at the same time, some military branches are falling short of their yearly recruiting goals by the thousands. The Army is set to fall 15,000 recruits short of this year. And even the ones they got, I did an article about a week ago. They can't even feed their ass. Okay, so this is it, man. If you don't think American Babylon the Great is going to get done away with, I don't know what the hell you thinking. Second Esdras, chapter 15, verse 16. All right, and it reads, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another." Right? We're going to look up that word sedition. You know, because what we do, we look up words. So sedition. You know, it's in the Apocrypha, so we're not going to be able to look up the root word of it in the root letter because it's not in there. But they need to go ahead and start putting those books in there.
Sedition.
A conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch, right? So that's what it's saying. It's going to be sedition, division. And if they don't believe in the military, we got damn near half the fucking nation not believing in this motherfucker. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to try to take matters in their own hands, you know? So, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the curse of their actions shall stand in their power. You know, and them 50 Jakes, they had enough power just to go Jackson, Gucci, the Louis Vuitton, or whatever the fuck else they got, and they got the fuck out of there. It's going to get worse than that, though. James, that's just that's just like a, you know, something to show you that it's happening. James chapter 1, verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. See, so we're not supposed to be jacking shit. We're not supposed to be trusting the military. We need to ask Yahawah Shai for the things that we need, and he gives them to us. And mainly it's supposed to be spiritual things, okay? We're supposed to be asking for the will of Yahawah Shai to edify the flock and to continue in the work of Yahawah Shai fervently and to better ourselves every day as we go along. And this is why we know we're not supposed to really ask for physical things too much. Right here, he's already got that, you know, made out for the ones he loves. Psalm chapter 68, verse 19. Blessed be the Lord who daily loadeth us with benefits, even the power of our salvation, Selah, right? So he's literally blessing us with these daily benefits. And if we're trying to get any more than that, then, you know, we're being greedy. So even if you do get provisions, that comes out to be more than that, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to give the one to the brothers that are in need. So this is Proverbs chapter 26, verse 10. It says, the great power, which is Yahawah, that for reward of all things, rewardeth the fool and rewardeth transgressors. So we know that Yahawah is going to reward us. Why? Because he even given the 2/3 in Esau Edom, which is the wicked, okay, which is the fool. The transgressors is 2/3 of our people who don't want to come back. And he's still rewarding them. He's still giving them daily benefits. So how much more to the people who serve Yahawah? He's just going to give you enough where those riches don't choke the word. Okay? You know, it's not good for us to have tons and tons of money here. And if we do come across a bunch of money, what are we supposed to do? Share it with the brotherhood. Okay? To show our allegiance. Matthew chapter 7, verse 11. If ye then being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, right? Because all these people are evil. They know how to give good gifts unto their children. How much more shall your Father, this is Yahawah speaking as well. How much more shall your Father, which is in heaven, give good things to them that ask him? And if we ask the Lord to feed the flock to the best of our abilities and to endure the end, hey, the rest of that stuff he gonna put in you. He gonna put right next to you because he knows you already need it, right? So those are things that, you know, I wanted to bring up concerning, you know, people relying on the military, people relying on, you know, physical things to save them and whatnot, or bring them some type of gain in the earth. Okay. So now, because now all those people who just did that, they're being condemned over fucking Louis Vuitton purse. Like, that's retarded. Don't do that. Don't steal shit. Just wait on Yahawah Shai. He's going to give you what you need. So we're going to go watch a couple videos concerning a whole bunch of disasters in the last 7 days. I'm going to put in 2 or 3 precepts in that, and then we're out of here. This is a long video, but the water for, you know, tuning in and and taking your time with me and being patient with me. So we're gonna get over here. We're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this Germany hailstorm.
If you make less than $50,000 per year, then this message is for you. Congress
for the infomercial
just passed a free $1.9 trillion stimulus.
A violent thunderstorm swept over Rietlingen and Baden-Württemberg, causing significant flooding, particularly in the city center. The storm was accompanied by hail, several centimeters high, adding to the severity of the situation. According to the police and fire brigade, heavy rain and hail led to the widespread flooding in Rietlingen on Friday afternoon. The hailstones, 1 to 2 centimeters in size, caused further problems by clogging the sewers and flooding the roads. In the city center, the water mixed with hailstones flowed down the pedestrian zone, prompting a temporary danger warning from the police. The river edges rose by 1.50 meters in just 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Quickly bursting its banks in the Betzingen district. Emergency services were busy responding to over 120 operations in the city. Fortunately, there were no reported injuries, and the cleanup efforts began promptly. The hailstones were removed using snowplows and transported to the outskirts of Rietlingen. The sudden and localized storm turned parts of Rietlingen into a winter landscape in the middle of summer, with streets looking like they were under a thick
in the middle of summer. That's the whole big thing about it.
Blanket of snow.
In the middle of summer, man. You don't think that's your Bahasham Yahawahshi doing that? Hey, man.
Initially, there were fears of a mega storm like the one that had devastated the district a decade ago, but the situation turned out to be less severe. The city's inner area was hardest hit by the hail, while the surrounding district municipalities experienced heavy rain. Pictures and videos of the storm circulated widely on the internet.
Whew.
If you get here, do not forget to subscribe to the channel to receive such.
No, we good, bro. But we're going to go over here. It says severe thunderstorm hits Minnesota. Large hail wreaks havoc and causes power outages. So we're going to go over here and we're going to see what's going over there in Minnesota. About 3 minutes. I might not even play the whole thing. Just play a little bit.
Large hailstones swept through the Twin Cities and other parts of Minnesota during a thunderstorm, cutting power to thousands of damaging vehicles early Friday night. Many Minnesotans have posted photos of the hail on social media. According to the National Weather Service, some were as large as 5 centimeters in diameter. During the storm, downtown Minneapolis was pitch black for several minutes. A series of severe thunderstorms rocked much of Minnesota, including the Twin Cities, on Friday evening. They threw a large hailstone into the middle of the subway, flooding the roads and blacking out thousands of people. The National Weather Service has submitted reports of hail the size of a golf ball or more in Minneapolis and St. Francis. There have been reports of hail the size of Plymouth, Rockford, Golden Valley and Robertsdale. Weather watchers near Dassel, west of
You saw you them dumbass out here getting pegged. You dumb motherfucker.
the subway reported 3 inches of hail.
Man, we ain't gotta do that much, but that's how Esau Edom be, and 2/3 of Jake. It'd be a whole doggone motherfucking hailstorm outside. Your ass gonna walk out there like you ain't gonna get pegged in your motherfucking head, man. I can't stand dumb motherfuckers. Anyways, we're gonna keep moving. This motherfucker standing outside. All right, sudden severe thunderstorm strikes Salisbury, Australia. Ooh, boy.
A thunderstorm suddenly hit parts of Salzburg on Saturday evening. Meteorologists say it's already too late to issue a warning. The extent of the damage is not yet known. Water also entered the Great Festival Hall. The sun was shining and the city of Salzburg was hosting the premiere of the opera full stuff when a terrible thunderstorm cell hit parts of Salzburg.
You hear that? They said that they wasn't even able to warn people fast enough. That shit just blew in the middle of a sunny day, man.
Biosphere Austria meteorologist Harold Seigel. I notified SM. A small thunderstorm cell like this has a lot of momentum of its own, making it difficult to raise an alarm.
All right. So we got that one. Lord have his way with the whirlwind, man. He jacking shit up. So it says severe storm and an EF1 tornado caused power outages on how. I'm so glad I ain't got to be in no more of them. Them hoes are scary. If you in one of them things ever, you want to call on Yahawahshi immediately. Okay? They're fucking terrifying.
Thousands of First Energy customers lost power Saturday.
So right here. There it goes. Turn that down a little bit. That motherfucker. Lord don't be playing, man. He be bringing judgment. But, you know, I just want to show that, you know, F4 tornado jacked up some stuff over there. And while that's going on, Turkey thought they was done with the Lord jacking their ass up. They're not. They had another earthquake 2 days ago.
This is Sarah from CNN News with an urgent alert for all Americans under 65 who have yet to claim the new $6,400.
Yeah, Esau Edom still trying to get people chasing the bag. Okay, so let's watch this. Oh, Lord, why is it like that? Okay, there it goes. Ooh. Ooh.
An abandoned building has collapsed in the earthquake, and some 22 people have been lightly injured in the ensuing fear and panic. Turkey's southeastern province of Wallachia.
We know in February, 50,000 damn near people died. So they've been smarter now. They've been running the fuck off. They've been getting the fuck out of there now. Shit.
By 5.3.
They've been playing now. Fuck.
Which caused panic that resulted in the injury of at least 22 people.
Shit, last time she got jacked up because they wasn't ready for it. Now they be shit. They be standing at the front door all day. Woo. I want to show this one little part though. They're over here showing chandeliers and stuff, but there's a one.
Wallachia was among the provinces hit by 2 devastating earthquakes on 6 February that led to a total death toll of over 50,000.
Yeah.
The earthquake with epicenter in Malaysia's Yeselir district struck at 8:48 p.m. and was felt also in the provinces of Muras, Adiyaman, Urfa, and Antep.
It showed like one little video. They was all in the mall, and they was trying to get the fuck out of there. But I don't think it's gonna show it. I ain't too worried about it. If you want to go look through it and watch it, you know, they in there getting fucked up. So I got 2 more little clips. Then I got to put this in, put in these 2 precepts, and then I'm gone. I know I took a lot of y'all time today. The water for tuning in. You know, hey, we got to get this work done. Look at that. So while we over here in America, Babylon the Great, you know, living, you know, somewhat, you know, normal. Man, Lord is jacking up everybody else, but he's saving America, Babylon the Great for the last. Okay, but there's still natural disasters going on here. They said more natural disasters happen here than anywhere else. You know, we just got a little break this week. You know, so don't think we just prone to not having disasters. Okay, I came out of my mama's household. I didn't have a place. 5 months ago, 6 months ago, I came out of my mama's house and shit didn't look like this. But after that tornado, that shit looked jacked up. You hear me? Shit looked like damn. Okay. And you go right down the street and all the houses where you saw Edom at still look nice and get hit. Man, I was like, man, life of Jake, man. Much tribulation, man. So we got one more. Everybody that's come my videos, I'm big about
So
clips,
you think you know Wix? Do you really?
videos and whatnot. And you got Jake out here talking about his dumb shit. Hold on. Come on, man. You ain't gonna let me skip this? Come on, man. Let me go back. I think it was just glitching or something where I couldn't do it. Here we go. Okay. Ooh, it's moving a whole doggone house, boy. Oh, they playing music. We don't need all that, man. Just think you in your house and then you just floating on the river, man. That's something else, man. God, dog. She the damn slipped and fell or something. It's so fucking dumb, man. I can't stand them over here. Trailer homes getting carried off. So, these are some natural disasters that's happened over the last week. Put that down. And we're going to put in a couple presets. We're going to get out of here. Like I said, I put a comment on the comment board. My other channel is just going to be dealing with certain kid shows and stuff, and just dealing with how they can be perceived in the spirit to the young children, who are still part. Because there's somebody will be the elect, they're going to be real young, So it says, if you do for the least of these, the kingdom of heaven, and you did it for me. So Yahawah still cares about them. So Lord put the spirit on me to go ahead and put a couple things across so they can just see in their little things that they watch, like SpongeBob, stuff like that. The Lord is warning them too. Okay, because remember it said that in Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 6, He's gonna slay utterly old and young. Okay. So we got to be in a way where we come in a way to show them in a crafty way of, hey, the Lord's talking to y'all too, man. I don't think He ain't talking to y'all. You just got to start seeing it. Like there's many stories that we know, even at us as kids, like the rabbit and the turtle. There's many precepts that we can apply to these certain, nursery rhymes and whatnot. So Lord will not have enough time to do it. I got to be over there at 2:00. So to go handle my business. And then I got to go to the plantation. So Ezekiel chapter 14, verse 21, for thus saith the Lord Yahawah, how much more when I send my four sword judgments upon Jerusalem, the sword and the famine and the noisome beast and the pestilence, to cut off from it man and beast. Now, how much more is He going to have to send? He's going to have to send until everything's desolate. That's what He's going to do. So now we got second Esdras. He's going to keep sending it. But our people are not going to be mindful of the scourges. As we were reading in the last lesson I did, You know, I done kept you long enough, so I'm gonna just read this, and we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna, you know. So 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Verse 20, but for all these things, and that's, see, I'm even bringing it up, that's the spirit. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So all that going on, Jake's still trying to chase the damn bag, man. This dumb shit. Verse 21, behold, victuals, which is like, you know what? I ain't gonna just explain it. Let's look it up real fast. This is our last precept right here. I'm gonna look this up. I look at it like, hey, if I got 24 hours, I'm at least give Yahawahshi an hour or two a day. Period. You know, and not just that, you know, we want to spend our time, you know, making sure that we go find out, you know, how we going to speak about these things. See?
Viddle. Viddle.
It says viddle, I guess. Not visual. Viddle. Okay. So that's something I learned new today, how to pronounce that. So food or provisions. Motherfuckers got donuts here like that's food. That ain't no damn food. You motherfuckers. Anyways. So shall be good, cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, because they got donuts and hamburgers. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So we're gonna just leave it off right there, you know, and that's what's happening right now. Sword, great confusion, and death, destruction, all types of things are coming across the earth, and Jake is still like trying to, you know, 2/3 of Jake is looking for their donuts and $2 in a pack of Rellos. So, Shalom to elect to Israel, to the hopeful elect to Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations. Lord willing, the sound's a little bit better now. Got to give all praise to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawahshi, Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawahshi. Got to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawahshi. Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, led me to this truth, who've been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect, the hopeful elect. Lord willing, part of that number. Lord willing to be able to find those who fear the name of the Lord and strive to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. If judgment always comes to light, Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, and it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. Wild ball. Gonna get back over here, and Lord willing, I can go ahead and get this other lesson out, and you know, go handle my business and go to the plantation. You know, I've been having to do 6 days a week at the plantation. It's been killing my ass. They finally gave me 2 days off. I'm gonna give both of them Yahawahshi if I'm alive. So the water for tuning in, wild ball. Lord willing to be able to exalt the name of Yahawahshi yet another day. Shalom.